In the glittering heart of Abuja, where glass towers kissed the sky and exhaust fumes smelled like money, there lived a woman the internet called Queen SoftLife. Her real name was Lola. She was the kind of beautiful that made traffic slow down. Skin like honey, waist like an hourglass, wigs always laid, nails always done. Her Instagram and TikTok were shrines to luxury. Rooftop dinners, Dubai vacations, designer bags, self-care days in five-star spas. Over 500,000 followers watched her every move. Brands paid her in dollars. Girls called her goals. Men called her wife material. One of those men was Obinna. He wasn't Instagram famous, but he was solid. He owned 3 electronics shops in Abuja, invested in real estate, woke up at 5 a.m. to check on his staff, sent money to distant relatives without announcing it online. He was quiet money, not loud money. When he met Lola at a friend's wedding, he was gone. It wasn't just her looks. It was the way she laughed, the way she walked into a room like the world belonged to her. He courted her properly, met her parents, paid her bride price with pride. The wedding was massive. Matching Aso Ebi, a live band, a hall full of people recording everything on their phones. Their photos went viral. For a week, their hashtag trended. Couple goals. Obinna thought he had married a queen. He just didn't realize what kind of crown she wore. The first months of marriage were sweet. Kisses, inside jokes, late-night talking. But slowly, reality started peeping through the filters. Lola's entire life revolved around content. She woke up at noon, recorded her skincare, spent hours choosing outfits, doing makeup, arranging lighting, taking hundreds of photos to get one perfect shot. By evening, she'd be editing, writing captions, replying comments, checking analytics. Obinna would come home tired, tie loose, shirt rumpled, smelling of sweat and engine oil. The kitchen would be untouched. No rice on fire, no stew, sometimes not even clean plates. "Baby, I had so much content to create today," she'd say, scrolling on her phone. "Can you just order something? Maybe Chinese?" At first, he didn't mind. He didn't marry her to be a maid. He ordered food, laughed it off. "She's a modern woman," he told himself. "She has her own career." But weeks turned into months. The house stayed messy unless Obinna hired a cleaner. Clothes piled up on chairs, makeup stained the dressing table. Their bedroom looked perfect only in Lola's Instagram stories. Outside the frame, ring lights and tripods cluttered the floor, wigs hung on door handles, dishes lingered in the sink. One evening, Obinna tried to raise it gently. "Lola, maybe we can share the housework a bit? Or plan things better?" he asked, voice soft. She stared at him like he'd insulted her ancestors. "Do you know how exhausting my work is? I'm building a brand. I'm mentally drained." "What I do is real work, Obinna." The guilt hit him instantly. "You're right," he said quietly. "I'm sorry." But something small and heavy settled in his chest. A crack. 6 months into the marriage, Lola missed her period. She panicked quietly. Not because she was worried about being barren, but because she was terrified of being pregnant. A baby didn't fit her brand. Pregnancy meant weight gain, stretch marks, swollen feet, breakouts. Her stomach was her moneymaker. Her waist was her identity. Without telling Obinna, she booked a visit to a private clinic. She lied about going to Lagos to see a friend. She terminated the pregnancy. In her mind, she had good reasons. This was her body, her career, her life. They were just cells, she told herself. Besides, Obinna would want children immediately. Men always did. She wasn't ready. 3 months later, it happened again. Another missed period, another secret, another clinic, another lie. By the 3rd time, Obinna had noticed a pattern. Every time her mood shifted and her period was late, she suddenly had an emergency trip. One Sunday after church, he tried to open the conversation. "We've been married over a year now," he said quietly. "I've been thinking maybe we should start trying for a baby." Lola's face hardened. "Let me be very clear, Obinna. I am not interested in motherhood. I never have been. I thought you understood that." "We never talked about this before marriage," he said, voice small. "You never asked," she fired back. "You just assumed. Like every Nigerian man. I have dreams. I have a brand. I'm not ready to tie myself down with children." "So you never want kids?" he whispered. "Maybe someday." She lied. "When I'm older. When my body has already changed. But not now. Definitely not now." Inside someday meant never. Inside Obinna, something tore. He had always imagined children. Noise in the house, football in the compound, little girls in tiny socks, a family that would carry his name when he was gone. The woman he loved did not want that life. And she hadn't just said no. She had secretly killed the future he was praying for. Obinna's mother, Mama Chidera, was nobody's mate. She had raised 7 children and buried her husband. She had built a textile business with her bare hands. She could smell trouble before it walked through the gate. Whenever she visited, she noticed the same thing. Her son looked tired, stressed, too quiet. The house never felt like a home. And no matter how long she waited, no pregnancy came. One day, during a visit, she entered the bathroom and saw it. A pharmacy receipt. Medication used after clinical procedures. Her heart dropped. That night, she called Obinna aside. "My son, we need to talk," she said. Slowly, carefully, she told him what she had seen, what she suspected, what she'd pieced together. Obinna went quiet, the truth hitting him like a truck. Deep down, he knew she was right. The timelines, the trips, the arguments about motherhood. "She has been ending your children," Mama said softly. "While you're praying for a family, she's making sure it never happens." Tears filled his eyes. "What do I do, Mama?" he whispered. "I believe in marriage," she replied. "I'm not telling you to throw her away, but marriage must be going somewhere. If she refuses to build with you, if she only cares about her image, you have a choice. Our tradition gives you room to take a second wife, a woman who will give you the home and children you desire. You don't have to divorce Lola, but you also don't have to die in silence." Obinna sat there for a long time, his heart in pieces, between love and betrayal, between culture and modern life, between the woman he married and the future he wanted. Before he made any decision, Obinna confronted Lola. "I know," he said one evening, standing in the doorway while she edited a selfie. "Know what?" she asked, not looking up. "About the pregnancies. All of them." Her entire body went still. I can explain. Can you explain why you made those decisions without me?" he asked, voice shaking. "Why you ended our children and didn't even think I deserved a conversation?" She straightened, anger rising like a shield. "My body, my choice. You don't own my womb, Obinna." "I never said I did," he replied. "But marriage is partnership. We're supposed to make big decisions together. You didn't just choose for yourself. You chose for us, without me. I'm supposed to destroy my career because of your dream of a fantasy family?" She snapped. He looked at her for a long time. Really looked. Past the lashes, past the gloss, past the curated life. "I want a family, Lola. I've always wanted a family. You don't. That's the truth." "So what now?" she asked. "Divorce?" "No," he said quietly. "But I will take a second wife." She laughed, sharp and bitter. "This is 2024, not 1924. You think you can just bring another woman into this house?" "It's my right by our tradition," he replied. You can keep your life, your brand, your page, but I will not die without children because you're afraid of stretch marks. For the first time, she saw it in his eyes. Not anger, not begging, not hope. Finality.
Fine! Bring your village girl. Let's see how long she lasts.
But Lola wasn't finished. Not by a long shot. She had plans of her own, and the lengths she would go to protect her soft life would shock even the devil.